Alright, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been in meetings all day, so nothing really groundbreaking when I've not been in meetings. I've been editing, and so not a very vloggable day. One thing that does interest me though is as I was in the back working, someone obviously paid me a visit. Because I have these things sitting in front of my studio, so it would appear that the front of my studio is now being held ransom by pink flamingos. It's a local fundraiser that's going on here, and so in order for me to get rid of the pink flamingos, I guess I have to pay some money to the charity. So, all the things people come up with. It's interesting. I wonder who I'm going to send them to. That's what I got to figure out now. I just want to take a moment to show you. I don't know if there's anything going on in here today. This is actually in our welcome center. And turn on some more lights. This is actually a painting that an artist did here. It was based on an old photograph. This used to be a car dealership, and the owner of the car dealership, every now and then they would have like local musicians and stuff come and play. And so there's actually famous musicians that have played here over the years and stuff. This is actually what it is now. They renovated it, and Arts and McNary does plays here, and they have the Day Before Rockabilly Festival, which is a local music festival that we have here that started with the murals that you've seen. They actually have a live music performance the day before Rockabilly here, and they induct people into our local county music hall of fame. And so that's a really cool thing that goes on. A lot of people actually, a lot of musicians and stuff, that way get honored, you know, while they're still living. And there's a lot of people that are honored after they've passed away, but there's also a lot of people that get honored while they're still living, and a lot of them actually have performed here. I think I can't wait till this year. We're actually going to be in town for this one. A lot of times I'm not actually in town for the event itself, but this year we're actually going to be here and probably do live vlogs and live streams from the events this year, and post them online so people can see, you know, what all we've got going on. But this is it's a great venue for live entertainment, and it gets used quite a bit. Arts of McNary puts all kinds of really cool productions on. I know their next one's going to be Addams Family, the musical. I'm personally very excited about that one. As being a kid growing up, I remember watching Addams Family quite a bit. So it's going to be really cool to see that one brought to life here, and maybe we can bring some behind the scenes from that production to the vlog. All right, got some work done. I'm literally about 50 images away from being done with both of the weddings. So getting ready to go to the rehearsal for the third wedding for this year, and should be really nice. You can see it's finally starting to get some sunshine, which is nice. But the wind is still it's just still insane. So not really sure how everything's gonna go. As far as being able to get any aerial footage this weekend, you know, that's the whole thing with with the drone work. We flew, as you saw a few episodes ago, we flew in some serious wind, and that really was not a lot of fun to do. So I don't want to do that again. I guess I will if I have to, but I really don't want to. Especially the next venue we're going to be at, there's water involved again, so having some water and wind, not a great combination. So drones don't grow on trees, but they sure can land in them. I don't want to have to fish my drone out of a lake, or a tree for that matter. So maybe the weather will calm down a bit. It's warmed up to 67, but it's hard to tell with this solid, it's like a solid 15-mile-an-hour wind right now that we've got. So and it could probably fly in it, especially staying kind of low. Phantom 4 I'm flying right now, it does a great job with dealing with wind. I don't. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of the wind. So anyway, we're going to be shooting this weekend at Hope Vineyards. It's a local vineyard we have in our county, and not sure what it looks like right now. I haven't had a chance to make it out there this year, so I'm not sure if the grapevines are have their leaves on or not. Surely they do. By now everything's really green as we're coming into the second week of, or the end of the first week of May. So surely the grapevines have their leaves on. So I hope it's real pretty and green, and we can get some really great shots out there. There's a 40% chance of rain tomorrow during our wedding, but around here that doesn't mean anything because the weather changes so frequently. So as you guys are going to learn if you watch many videos, you'll learn that the weather changes on drop of a hat. And you guys see out here at our city park, tonight is our Relay for Life. It's a big fundraiser for the American Cancer Society. A lot of people are going to be going out to that. We got to do that last year. We actually did a photo booth last year, and it was a lot of fun, but this year work is intervening, so maybe next year. The sun's really out right now, so it's really hard to see. The wind's probably blowing.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's exactly what it is.
I don't know how they work. I don't know if you have to cut them back every year or what. Focus. There we go. Isn't that cool? That's cool. They're golf tees. They're giving away as wedding favors. This is the inside of the vineyard here. So, yeah, everything's getting into place. I'm pretty sure. So we took a break and we came out here. You know, you hear us talk about Buford Pusser and stuff like that. This is the old Mississippi state line. Back there was I think one of the old state line bars, and we think that was the White Iris back there. Which one was right up here? So this would have been the Torch Club, possibly. Would have been right up there. And then they built a place called Howdy's later on. This is probably one of the most famous spots in this area here, is where the Shamrock Hotel used to be. And what was the name of the the restaurant that was at the end of it? So yeah, Plantation Club was across the street, like right over there. The thing about these places where they straddled the Mississippi and Tennessee state line, so when something would happen, a lot of times people weren't really sure where they happened. Did they happen in Tennessee? Did they happen in Mississippi? So it made things, you know, kind of difficult to investigate. This is actually where the hotel stood, and this is where a famous shootout occurred with Buford Pusser and Louise Hathcock. And wow, that's kind of eerie. It appears that the flooring you can still see, and this tree has grown up through there, and someone's placed a funeral piece there in remembrance. A lot of things happened back then, and this was a pretty rough place. Back in the late 60s, early 70s. Wow, you can still see there's just some old stuff. I would imagine people have dumped that stuff here because that's actually looks like newer furniture because it's not solid wood. You know, back then they actually made furniture. Today everything's, you know, that old MDF board and stuff. But yeah, this was a rough place back in the late 60s, early 70s. And you know, it kind of took someone to come along that that understood I think how bad it was and want to do something about it. And that's basically what happened. You know, you had the sheriff in Alcorn County and the sheriff in McNairy County that pretty much used the law to take care of a lot of things. And some people loved him, some people hated him. You know, the way I hear it, you know, is Buford was either your best friend or your worst enemy. You know, so. But you hear a lot of tall tales, and every now and then you get some stories that you know, there's still people that live around here that tell stories and stuff about things that happened back then. Just, you know, will blow your mind. You know, there are 3 movies actually made about Buford and all the things that happened down here in McNairy County, and a lot of the things that I've heard tell, you know, they didn't really have to dramatize much. And there's several books that have been written. But yeah, the floor is back here, Jessica. And supposedly, this is where, I think this is where the doorway was. And if it goes to where I've understood the story told, is he walked into this room and she fired from where this would have been back, and this would have been the front wall, and there would have been a window there where the bullet exited, that she fired at him, and he fired 2 shots at her, and she passed away in this area. So, huh?
Is it a brick?
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, right here, see?
Oh.
See the...
Yeah, the little stone.
Yeah, it's like a bricked weave flooring that's actually still here. Huh. It's interesting. But I don't know. Really? You hear so many stories. And so, oh my God, there is a giant skunk back there. Oh my God. He's not running away either. He's huge. He's right by where we were standing. Oh my God, yes. I thought it was a cat, and I was like, oh my God.
I heard something.
Yeah, I noticed he was white. I was like, oh, there's a white cat, and then he stood up, and I saw the black underneath. I was like, oh no. Woo! All right, we're leaving. So, this is actually a photo of what it looked like. Can you tell if that's brick weaved? That's not like, that's more like stone. And this is what it looks like today. Actually, actually place it outside the car. I'm not walking back over there. That's one of the biggest. That's one of the biggest skunks I've ever seen. Yeah, there we go. So there's a better photograph of what it looked like here. And then actually, if you look really close, you'll see this pillar right here on the outside. The bullet that Louise fired at Buford was actually lodged in one of those.
It was in this one.
Okay. And
Here,
his deputy actually cut it out of the wood. Whew, man, my heart's beating.
Breathe in for 1 second.
Yeah, I haven't ran like that in a while. Ever since the last wedding. Nothing like getting chased out of the woods by a giant skunk. Well, I actually came to get my laptop. I'm going to do some work at home tonight. And the flamingos are gone. So I don't know if the people that put them out here came and got them or what happened. But the flamingos have flown the coop. Oh, and by the way, have you figured out yet what I've seen in this painting? That I'm curious if anybody else has seen it. I'm not going to tell you yet. Not going to do it. Not going to tell you what I see in it yet. I'm going to wait. It's going to be a surprise.